Yeah, you don't.
Good evening. Thank you for welcome to Loco. This is Ray, along with
Chrissy D.
and we're both a bit sick tonight, but it's all right. It's our son's birthday, and we're super excited. The reason we're super excited is because we have Sugar Lime Blue. If you never heard of them, they're a phenomenal band. They're the only ones that I know of that have the Sunday shout out on YouTube, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yes, it is. And I want to wish our son a happy 14th birthday. And of course, yes, we're very excited to have Sugar Lime Blue on. And they've got a lot of great music. To me, when I listen to them, I hear it's country with almost to my ears only, with almost like a 60s blend. It sounds really cool. I like it. It's just the way they blended it together. It's got a nice beat to it. I don't know. But yeah, you really have to listen to their music. It sounds really good.
All right, without further ado, let's all welcome Sugar Lime Blue. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you this evening?
We're doing good.
If I seemed any harsh or anything, I do apologize. We're both running with a bit of a cold, but the show must go on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've been sick here.
Oh, I hope you guys feel better.
Thank you.
I was telling the audience that I was describing your music when I heard it from my ears. I said, from my personal point of view, when I heard it, it sounded like almost like you took country and like a 60s blend and you kind of put it together. It's got a nice, I just liked it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, glad you liked it. We're
yeah.
influenced by. So, yeah.
I think the nice thing about the 60s blend part of it is it gives it something different. It doesn't sound like every other band out there.
Yeah, we love the older.
I do too. I grew up in the 70s.
All right.
Yeah, I should have been born earlier.
Okay, before I ask you anything, I do have to, ask you a few questions. Unfortunately, our music blogger, Miss Fawn Francis, couldn't join us tonight. She's having terrible reception. However, she had a bunch of questions to ask you all. First, she wanted to know, where can people see you live?
Well, we travel about within a 4-hour radius from Nashville, right? We're looking to branch out a little further. But right now, the best way to touch where we're playing is going to be to check on either our Facebook or our website, keep up to date, touring dates and stuff like that on there.
Oh, that's great because you are based out of Nashville. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So she also wants to know who out of the band writes the music.
That's Dave and I. We write together. We're looking to expand out as we add members and out and writing to them too.
Nice. So she also wanted one more thing. She wanted to know where do you pick the people out when you do the Sunday shout out?
Yeah, we pick them off of our Twitter followers, and we have a list of people that we want to shout out to, but we're just kind of behind. Too many people and not enough.
I can understand that. My 14-year-old actually had a question before he went to bed. He said, what was his question, honey, that he had? Nick asked tonight? It was, he asked how you guys got together. That's what it was.
Dave,
Okay. Can you all hear us?
Yeah, there's a weird echo. It's kind of hard to everything.
Yeah, you guys keep cutting out.
Yeah, that's weird. Hold on a second. Okay, can you hear us?
Yep.
There's
Yeah,
still an echo. Hold on
lowered it
just a
down
sec.
Is it any better?
It's weird. We're hearing like a playback of our whatever we say, but it starts off per second before we start talking.
We're still trying to get used to this equipment, you know?
All right, is that any better?
Hello? No, it's like we're getting like a feedback loop of whatever we say.
That's weird because we normally don't have it. It's not normally like that. All right. Let's try something. I'm gonna say that we're having, well, evidently we're having some audio issues right now. So just give us about 2 minutes and we'll get right back to you and we'll try again. All right?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. All right. That's what happens sometimes. Sometimes you get things that work out, and then other times that's just life. Life does that to you. You think that you have everything, solved all the time, and it doesn't always end up that way. All right, so we're gonna try and attempt something different here, and see if that works out better. All right, let's attempt to try this for a second time. Let's see if this works any better. Please bear with us for a second, and Chrissy D will talk to you for 1 second there.
I sure will. Yeah, we're real excited to have Sugarline Blue on, and we're really hoping this works out.
All right.
But like my husband said, technical difficulties happen,
All right. Well, we'll see if it was that one issue, or we'll see if it continues.
Exactly.
If it continues, I do apologize to everybody. We will get this fixed. We'll figure out what's going on.
Exactly.
Hello, Sugarline Blue.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, is this any better?
I think it's better. Yeah, I'm not hearing the feedback now. It's not running a loop. That's
right.
much better.
Good.
All right, so...
Can you hear us okay?
I'm sorry?
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we can hear you fine.
Okay, good.
All right, so
Now, I think there was a question about how we got together, and I was asking, does your son mean just Dave and I, or the entire band?
Yeah, I think he means the entire band. Well, yeah, the entire band.
The entire band. Well, obviously we all got together over music. Dave and I met in Texas at a guitar center, and we met Russ through Craigslist, like shortly after he moved to Tennessee from California.
Ah, okay.
Oh, that's cool. That's sweet how you guys met. That's cool how you guys met in a music store.
I'm afraid you guys are cutting out now. We're not hearing anything on your end. Sorry.
Okay, any better now?
All right, this is better now?
Oh, that's much better.
All right. All right, so what about the rest of the band? We heard that y'all had a little love story, or as far as musicians over at Guitar Center after Craigslist. So how did the rest of the band come into play?
Well, we have a steel player that we play with, and he plays guitar also, and he actually he's just a guy that I met around Nashville, just playing some shows and working with different artists. And we actually collaborated on on our new album that's going to be coming out here, hopefully sooner than later. We're hoping for it to be finished up in the next month or two. And as far as drummers, we kind of have a cast of characters, I guess, that we play with. We have a bunch of friends that play drums, and it's kind of been a little bit of a revolving door for us, just because we like to play with a lot of different people, and we just haven't found that person yet that we feel like, is the missing link, I guess you could say.
Well, I know how that is. It takes time to, find the right cast. You never
Absolutely.
know. I mean, you could find them tomorrow, or it could be years down the line. But the main thing that I like is that you actually, one of them bands that actually cares about the fans.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, we feel like whoever plays in our band has to be like part of our family, and that's how we kind of feel about like the fans too. Like, I don't even like the term fans, honestly. Like, I refer to them as our friends, because we feel like we're becoming their friends through the music that we create. And it's like a circle. Like, the fans become our friends by listening, so it's like a good circle. We make music, they listen. Without anybody to listen, we wouldn't really have any purpose for creating music. So it's, it's good to have them around.
And with all the social media out there, I mean, you can chat with people that you probably wouldn't get to otherwise. It used to be you go and you play a show and people clap, and that was their response to you, and that's the only way that you could tell if they were enjoying things or not. But now they can write to you and let you know, hey, I've been listening to your song today, or hey, I'm feeling down, but your song made me feel better, or whatever. And so it's like taken the relationship between a band and a fan to a completely different level.
So you basically say that it's all about personality nowadays, rather than just the music, because in the downloaded age and the social media age, it's so easy for anybody to download anything.
Yeah.
I think that's really true. I never really thought about it in that sense, but I mean, it's just like if we're gonna call these people our friends, it definitely is more important, the personality and the intermingling of our personality and their personality.
That's very true. And because I like that when I saw that when Ray showed me that you guys did the Sunday shout-outs, I saw that and I thought that was really cool. I was like, wow, that's really cool how they took the time to do a Sunday shout-out even to just one person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, we just had, exactly. We've had that same feedback from a lot of people, actually. And at first, we were kind of like, well, it's such a small thing. We thought, well, this is kind of a small thing. It's just something that, just something that we were trying different, because we were starting to make friends and fans online that are in other countries, and we're like brainstorming, how are we ever going to play to these people? It seems like forever before we might have that opportunity, maybe even never. I mean, of course, we want to get to that point where maybe we could tour Europe one day, but who knows if that'll ever happen. So we just tried to come up with a way where we could maybe play a concert for them in their living room, even if it was like an abbreviated concert.
Just personal, more personal.
You guys couldn't somehow, through the internet, you know what I'm saying, get your band together, and over the internet, have them somehow, too bad they couldn't take in another country, like one of those big screens they use for the movies, take something of that sort, and hook the computer into it, you know what I'm saying, so that people can see your band play in another country.
Like concert?
Yeah, for a concert, so they'd still be able to see your concert, but you guys wouldn't have to go all the way there,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, that's one of the things that, doing the Sunday shout-out, because we've had such great feedback. I mean, it's really been I don't want to say a great tool as much as it's just been an awesome opportunity to meet people and know them better through this avenue, it's kind of made us start thinking about that. Like maybe, as we move into the future, here we are, 2014 already. It's like we can perform a concert in our barn, basically, and stream it live on the internet and have fans from all over the place, be able to view that. So that's something that we're definitely looking at, trying to produce in the next year or so.
It's like a virtual house tour. It's fun.
That's cool. Well, if you do that, I definitely want to know, because I would definitely tune in and listen,
Yeah, for sure.
So where did you all come up with the name Sugar Lime Blue out of all the names out there?
This is the question that every time anybody asks us, Ashley and I always fight over who's going to answer, because neither one of us has like a really good answer for it. It's kind of funny. I mean, we're a very eclectic band. We like bands like the Grateful Dead and Ray LaMontagne and...
Well, like you were saying, like that mix of different kinds of music, like the old feel to the new music kind of thing.
Right, like all these really eclectic bands, and we just wanted a really eclectic name, and it just kind of came out of us, There wasn't there's no real, like, interesting story, like, we opened the Lime and it was blue or anything crazy happening. It was just kind of, we wanted an eclectic name. And we didn't really even spend a long time thinking about it. It just kind of came out of us, and we kind of knew that was the name for us because it was so strange and different, yet sounded, strangely appealing to us.
And we also knew that we wanted there to be a strong visual connection to whatever name we picked. And Dave, like, after we thought of that name, he came up with kind of a mock website, and it had this beautiful picture. You can go to our website and see it with a lime that was turquoise on the inside splashing in water, and I'm like, that's it. That's the image that I want. So that's its birth.
That is really cool.
Now, I want to know, is it just people in general you like playing for? I mean, because I know that you've done festivals of, thousands of people. However, could you rock to the same, the same rhythm and the same tempo to 5 people?
We have.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we have, because we like playing music so much. I mean, if it wasn't for the money aspect of it, we would definitely just be like full-time traveling musicians and just play to whoever would listen, because we just love making music.
Yeah, we played a couple of festivals that were supposed to be like a few hundred people, but we had like torrential rainstorms that day with lightning and everything, and literally there were not 100 people. There were maybe 10, including the sound crew. So we have done that before, and it's still fun.
All right. Well, before we bombard you with some more questions, we're going to play one of your songs for the audience, Don't Let It Bring You Down, and we'll get right back to you, okay?
Great.
All right. Just hold on one moment.
When you're down your face, searching for that hidden ace. You're an angel falling from grace. Ooh, ooh, let it bring you down so low. Let it keep you down so low. Let it bring you down so low. Let it keep you down so low. Still got your head up in some cloud. Don't even notice that you're down. Look in the mirror, see you well. You're not a rich man, but you've got yourself. You're the deal breaker with what you've dealt. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Are you still there?
Yeah, here.
Okay. As I was listening to that song, now I'm not old enough to go to obviously have gone to Woodstock. I was just born when that was going on. But that song, that's what it made me think of. It made me think of when people told me stories about Woodstock and going there and just all the fun people had. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I'm not old enough to remember Woodstock either, but I've watched the movie and just all the music from that era really, I just fell in love with that as a teenager. So, as we started this project and we were writing music, a big goal of ours was just to write music that we love, because one of the things here in Nashville is there's just like a million bands, and the competition is so stiff that if you start out playing locally like we did, there's no money to be made. So it was kind of like, if I'm not going to make any money, then I'm sure as heck gonna play what I love to play.
Not only that, but you guys are so different that you guys would get the you'd be more likely to get the people to listen to you because they'd hear you and they'd be like, "Oh my God, they sound so different. I want to hear that again." You know what I'm saying? People like that different.
Yeah. It's funny because I know what you're saying, and I've always loved music like that. That's it's not like the second song on the CD doesn't sound the same as the first song, and the third song sounds different, and the next song sounds different, and they all sound different. And most people that listen to music, I think, are kind of that way. But on the other side of the coin, it's been fun. It's been interesting, like how many times we've been told by either record promoters or agencies or whoever it may be, that you guys just play too many different genres. Like, we can't put you in one genre. You need to pick a focus. And we're like, well, you're kind of missing the point of our band. The whole point of the band is that we don't really have like a singular focus. Like, they all sound like our songs. I think we've been told that, at least, that no matter what we play, it sounds like Sugar Lime Blue. But yeah, we have a song that's kind of a little more country. We have a song that's kind of a little more folky. We have a song that's kind of like a little more, like a jam band type of thing. We have something that maybe sounds like classic rock, so we definitely like to bend the genres.
Yeah, I heard that when I listened to the music. I really heard that different gyros in it when I listened to different songs. And I mean, I just liked it because I was like, wow, that's different. I've never heard that before. When Ray first started playing it, I was in the other room, and I came down here to bring him something, and I heard that, and I was walking out of the room, and I stopped and went, wow, what's that? And he said, that's SUGARLIMEBLUE. And I'm like, wow, I like that music. That's just different. But I like the 60s music because, to me, that's when music was music. Nowadays, I don't know.
What it all?
Thank you. I mean, we definitely appreciate that. I take that as a compliment. And when people tell us that, well, you don't really fit into any one genre, like, I think that's a good thing,
I do too. It'd be like eating the same kind of food every night, It's like, you know what, we're going to have hamburgers, and then tomorrow night we're going to have hamburgers, and then every night from the rest of your life you're going to have hamburgers for dinner. And that's boring. Sometimes you crave Chinese food, and sometimes you crave, like, some lobster or something. It's like, you don't want the same thing all the time, and that's kind of how we feel about our music. We try to kind of take a snapshot of where we are in our lives with our music, and from song to song, from album to album, that's just going to keep changing. So, yeah, I don't want to put a genre on it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, keep up what you're doing, because, I mean, I love your music, and I like the fact that you're different. That's what really caught my eye, and that's what really actually caught my ear, and really made me listen,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, on my end, you need to find the right, producer anyway or label anyway that will accept you for who you are, because when you start catering to labels and start catering to different people, all that's going to end up happening is, okay, you keep on, going the route they want you, and then you're stuck on a shelf. I've seen it happen so many times, it's not funny.
Yeah, you almost
I mean, we've had some of those experiences already, but luckily we were smart enough to have received advice similar to what you're saying, early on, where somebody told us that, you don't need to change. You need to find the people that are going to support you in what you're doing, because we've had the offers like, well, you guys should learn top 40 songs, because you're so talented. We could put you in casinos making like $1,000 every night, or whatever. And we're like, well, where do you go after that? We don't want to be playing top 40 songs in casinos. I'd rather be making no money every night playing our own music at a coffee house with 5 people, than play Mustang Sally again or Sweet Home Alabama. There's nothing wrong with those songs inherently, but we're just, trying to do something and go a little different way than that.
Yeah, no, you don't want to do that, because then you're like a robot, and it does get boring. It would be like, yeah, okay, that's SUGARLIMEBLUE.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they play top 40 music. But when you play your own music, it's like, wow, I'm doing my own thing, and it makes you feel good, Because you got there all on your own. So when you do make it and you do finally get that record label that's perfect for you, it's going to feel good, because you guys will all sit back and be like, wow, we made it, guys. We finally made it. We made it on our own without becoming a robot for society.
And I don't even, I mean, I understand it takes money and everything, but I don't really see where you actually would need a label nowadays. I mean, there's so many outlets now and ways you can go about selling yourself. If you could come up with your own, good marketing campaign, really, that's all it needs. I just don't see it anymore. Yeah, that's kind of the
direction we've chosen to go with the music, and just keep serving the music, and we feel like it's going to serve us right back. And just trying, like we were talking about, just making the connections with the fans and connecting fans to other fans, and hopefully making a community that wants to be together and wants to support something like what we're trying to put out there.
So do you have any stories from, any good stories you remember from being on tour or whatever, of how you touched, like, a fan's life and how it impacted them, or no?
With like one of the coolest things that I saw was just a few weeks ago, and like we've been doing the shout out, I guess for since last June, I guess it was June or July. So it hasn't been a whole long time that we've been doing that, but we had the opportunity a few weeks ago. We were playing in Knoxville, and two different people from two separate parts of the state came to see our show that we were doing in Knoxville, and we were actually able to introduce them to each other, and they spent the night in conversation and enjoying the music with us, and it was just really cool to be able to make that connection for them because they had us in common, and that was, for me, that was amazing. That was an amazing thing to witness and be able to be a part of.
Yeah, the Sunday shout-out for us has been like a real encouragement. Like, people thank us all the time for the shout-outs that they receive, but, like, I mean, we feel like they're just such a blessing to us. And, like, if somebody will tell us, we've had a couple people that say, on Sunday mornings I get up and that's how I wake up. I have my coffee, I sit down, I, check out the SUGARLIMEBLUE Sunday shout-out. And we're like, man, that's kind of cool. It's become like a thing for them where every Sunday this is what they do, and they'll tweet us pictures of them sitting down with their coffee or
their
whatever.
Families. They
or
gather their families.
Like, there's been several people like lately that have said, I'm going back over watching some of the shout-outs again with my daughter, and she really likes your music. She's become a fan, and all the way from, like, I think we've had, like, a child that was, like, 2 years old or maybe even younger, 2 or 3, all the way up to, their full-grown sons and daughters sitting down with their parents, like, and it's like, what? Like, families coming together over a song that we shouted out to somebody, it seems kind of surreal to me, but it definitely is like a blessing back to us.
Oh yeah, I mean, even our 14-year-old, he liked the music. When he heard it, he was like, "Dad, what's that music? I like that," and he was listening to it too.
So
awesome.
It's so cool. Like, that's one thing that I've tried to tell, like, promoters, like, for festivals and stuff, is that, it seems like the music that we're putting out there, it's like, it has a wide appeal. Like, it's hard to put a limit on it. Like, well, is it people, that are like classic rock fans? Well, they might like it, but then people that like country might like it, and people that like, singer-songwriter stuff might like it, and people that like, certain pop music might like it. So it's kind of, it goes back to that whole genre-less thing and what we're trying to create again.
Exactly. You guys have basically your own category, kind of.
So who would you say is your, like, main influences as far as music and just in general, when you're all writing your music and, doing your thing?
That's hard to answer. Like, each of us have a lot of influences, and, like, you reach back into childhood and the things that you listen to, and, I mean, there's just so many things that play in. It's like everything from your childhood and your teenage years and, on up to now just kind of adds up. And I'd say, like, more than other music influencing, it's more of an emotional state, whatever state we're in that needs to be expressed. It has to have somewhere to go. And since music is our creative palette, that's how we express it. So, like, all that stuff adds up into the sound. Like, the old music that we listen to comes out as older sounding, feeling music. But it's really, for me, it's more of, like I was saying, like the snapshot of where I am emotionally, the lyrics and whatnot that I come out. Dave may have a different answer.
Well, I think that, Ashley kind of hit the nail on the head a little bit, that, I think that maybe what gives our music kind of like an older type of vibe, or like that type of thing from, like, like people say the 60s or 70s is, it's like before music, nowadays it seems like a lot of music is overproduced. Not all of it, but, it has like a lot of production behind it, and you kind of lose some of that soul and that spirit behind the music. And to me, I love bands like the Grateful Dead and Santana and, Hendrix and all those guitar bands from the 60s and 70s. Led Zeppelin was a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of theirs. But when I go to write music, I think, like, you know, as any good music is influenced, I think that the biggest influence of good music, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is life experience. You know, the end of that 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 year relationship with somebody that just kind of ends in a really horrible way. You know, I mean, that is, even though it's an awful experience, that's something that really comes out in your music down the road. You know, broken friendships, lost, you know, ended promises or broken promises. You know, just all that life experience.
The happy things too.
And the happy things too, yeah. You know, I tend to bring a lot of blues into our influence, you know, and I think those life events, you know, happy and sad, they really bring like an older soul or an older spirit into the music.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I grew up on all that music too because I had an older brother, and that's what he basically, a lot of what he listened to, Hendrix and all the different bands. I mean, even I grew up on a lot of that myself, liking it because, like I said, for my older brother, his friends, different friends I had, you know. So we all had our own choices of music, but that's basically what I grew up on. That's what I liked.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to have the audience listen to Go Home, and we're going to ask you a few more questions, and then we'll let you go. So just hold with us for one moment, and we'll be right back.
I've never seen so much rain. It rained after midnight and the dawn. It rained so much I